have when you've already decided that you're going to retire. This is last week in senior year energy. He's already out. He's going to leave anyway. So he's just going to, yeah, I can say whatever the fuck I want. This is it. Yep.
Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite. But we will not back down from a fight.
What about you booing the anthem? How about that?
Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake. At the moment, the U.S. tariffs came into effect in the early hours of this morning, and so did the Canadian response.
And that is?
Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
Jesus.
Starting with tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods immediately, and tariffs on the remaining $125 billion of American products in 21 days' time. Should these tariffs not cease?
I'm feeling like the next step is 50. What do y'all think? 50%? What do you think, Trump? Maybe Trump do 125. How about 125%? $1,000%? Well, that's after they try to go up again. Trump said he's matching whatever they add. So does that mean he's going to do another 25% now? It's going to go up to 50%? Oh no. It's a lose-lose with China? Well, they tariff China too.
We are in active and ongoing discussions with provinces and territories to pursue several non-tariff measures. Measures which will demonstrate that there are no winners in a trade war. Now, just like I did a month ago, I want to speak first directly to the American people.
Oh, this is me.
We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning,
wouldn't that mean that you're choosing to do it to your people too? Because like if he's saying the tariffs are being done to the American people, wouldn't that mean he's doing the same thing? Like, I mean, that would be the logic, right?
Are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between.
I feel like this the tariff like rhetoric doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because like whenever he's going and saying that like the U.S. is doing it to their own people, wouldn't he then be accusing himself of doing the exact same thing to his own people whenever he has reciprocal tariffs? Like, I feel like, yeah. I don't know. Are you slow? No, I'm just saying, like, that's just... Yeah, but he didn't start it? No, I didn't think so either. Is the trade war Trump started? No, it definitely is. No, 100%. Absolutely 100%.
They've chosen to harm American national security.
Absolutely.
Impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper. They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States.
I remember that.
And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today. Now, the legal pretext your government is using to bring in these tariffs is that Canada is apparently unwilling to help in the fight against illegal fentanyl. Well, that is totally false. Let's look at the facts. Our border is already safe and secure. Far less than 1% of fentanyl flows and less than 1% of illegal crossings into the United States comes from Canada. But we acted because we know we can always do better.
Pick your hero.
We responded to concerns, including from
Y'all think he lying?
To this universe, no matter the cost.
I'm gonna say something that's not really related, but like this whole thing about him being Fidel Castro's son, I completely believe it. I 100% believe it. I think it's undeniable. I wish on the last day he would just come out and say it. He'd be like, yeah, I got you. Really? Yeah, no, I do believe it. I'm sorry, I do.
I tend to lost souls, like a shepherd tends to his
yeah,
flock.
I don't know what to say.
President by implementing an ambitious $1.3 billion border plan. A border plan that includes generational investments in new AI and imaging tools to stop the flow of fentanyl in its tracks.
I'm not really sure what Trump's endgame is with putting all these tariffs on Canada. I don't really see like what's the like where's the win condition here?
4, 3, 2,
Longer coordination and information sharing
all you need to do
with
is capture the
American
mission area.
agencies,
Got it?
along with the deployment of drones, helicopters, and additional personnel to keep our borders secure. Now, a month ago, as part of an agreement with the United States that paused the tariffs, we made further commitments.
I don't think that's a welcoming
We
committee.
appointed Kevin Brosseau as our fentanyl czar, a man who dedicated his multi-decade career in law enforcement to combating organized crime networks and drug trafficking.
Mission area is yours.
We
Capture now.
designated 7 drug cartels, six evil groups who cynically profit off the pain and suffering of people on both sides of the border as the terrorist organizations that they are.
Good.
And just yesterday, we launched a new joint operations partnership supported by a $200 million investment between Canada's security and law enforcement agencies.
That's a lot of money.
A partnership that will enhance the coordination of information and intelligence in order to thwart criminal gangs involved in the illegal fentanyl trade.
A lot of people hate this guy. Like I've never talked to somebody in Canada, like personally, that likes him. Like I don't know exactly why they don't like him. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm not Canadian, but I've never talked to somebody who likes him. That's it.
I require some aid.
Critically,
You've
our
captured more than
actions
half of the mission area. Keep going.
as the U.S. Customs and Border Protection
Much better.
just acknowledged, there was a 97% drop in fentanyl seizures from January compared to December to a near zero low of less than half an ounce seized in January, even with all the further enforcements and actions we've taken at the borders. In sum, we stepped up.
Area's almost yours.
Fentanyl being the real reason.
This place
For
is
this
worth a
happened.
good look.
I feel better already.
It's gotta be something else.
Closely and constructively with the president and his administration. We did everything we promised.
We are undefeatable. Let's keep fighting.
Because we believe in working together to protect our citizens. Now I want to speak directly to one specific American.
Born again!
As I said, man, this is last. Like, this guy knows he's leaving.
Quantum magic.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Second chance is over.
Yeah, the call out, yeah. Half an ounce equals 7 days, by the way. God damn.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner. I've got your back.
Donald, in the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. Donald, in the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done
I tend
big
to
things.
lost souls, like a
We
shepherd
signed
tends
a
to his
historic
flock.
deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage.
30
as
seconds before you
Canada and the
attack.
US have
Get
done
ready.
together for decades, for generations. And
I feel
now
this sword may not
we
be
should
enough
be
in the conflict
working
to come.
together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans
Wish
in
I
a
could take you
very
to our armory
uncertain and
and get you one
challenging
made of
world.
vibranium instead.
Your fancy
I'm gonna
metal may
just
be
say,
strong,
I think that
but
a
I
lot of
assure you,
the animosity
battle
and
starts
the
in
aggression
5,
towards Canada,
4, 3,
I
2,
don't really like. It's
1.
funny to meme about,
All
right?
you need
Like
to do is
US
capture the
versus
mission
Canada,
area.
Canada,
Got it?
51st state, etc.
My
But
father
like,
would have
I
loved
don't.
to see what happened
It's
reaching
funny,
across
but
the
like,
skies.
it's not something I would like. It's not something I take seriously. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just it's funny. That's
A
all.
little help, please.
It's not funny at all. I don't know. I think you can laugh at like during that hockey game, them yelling at each other.
Against the world!
I think that's fine. But
Supernova!
I don't think so.
And it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal. But Donald, they
place
point
is
out that
good luck.
even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. We two friends fighting is exactly what our opponents around the world want to see. And now, to my fellow Canadians. I won't sugarcoat it. This is going to be tough. Even though we're all going to pull together, because that's what we do. We will use every tool at our disposal so Canadian workers and businesses can weather this storm. Expanding EI benefits and making them more flexible to providing direct support to businesses, we will be there as needed to help you. But Canada, make no mistake.
Trump is canceling the tariffs again. There's no way, bro. Like,
Enemy located.
there's no way. We'll look at it after this.
There's still so much to do.
Their team's
Even
capture
people on their
progress
toes.
has passed the halfway
Roller
point.
coaster. Yes. Donald's Wild Ride. Holy shit.
Everyone, together.
No matter how long this
God.
lasts, no matter what the cost, the federal government and other orders of government will be there for you.
Feeling
We
fantastic.
will defend Canadian jobs. We will take measures to prevent predatory behavior that threatens Canadian companies because of the impact of this trade war, even when they take over. How refreshing. We will relentlessly fight to protect our economy. We will stand up for Canadians every single second of every single day because this country is worth fighting.
Us against the world!
You get me, Mark? Wait, they stress up.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
All right, while the Prime Minister is speaking French, Paula Newton, she's joining us from Ottawa.
There's
CNN
still so much
White House
to do.
reporter Elena Treen. Paula, I've covered
Yeah,
U.S.
I don't know
Canadian
what the fuck.
relations for many, many years. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, right on the border with Canada. Our family used to go to Canada, to
Yeah.
Ontario, Crystal Beach, every summer. We had a home there, so I spent
Where
a lot
there
of
is
time
evil
growing
in
up
this universe,
effectively in
I will
Canada.
be there
I have
to
never
balance
seen
it.
this U.S.-Canadian relationship deteriorate as seriously as it has right now. The Prime Minister of Canada saying the U.S. has declared
30
a
seconds
trade
before you
war
attack.
against
Get ready.
Canada. Have you ever seen this U.S.-Canadian relationship as bad as it is right now?
Absolutely not, Wolf, and I echo, your thoughts. In my entire lifetime, Wolf, in terms of what you speak and that very close friendship between Americans and Canadians, I have never seen anti-Americanism reach this height in my entire lifetime.
battle
And I
starts
want
in
to
I've seen a lot of. I was just gonna say, there's nobody that hates Americans more than Canadians. I've seen this.
All you need to do is
play
capture the
online
mission
video
area.
games with Canadians.
Got
They
it?
got all kinds of shit to talk about
There are
America.
threats ahead
But
even
every
greater
single
than what the
time,
Dooms
all
have
the time,
unleashed.
they're like, "Yeah, we're the good
Our
ones."
adversary's got
Every fucking time. We love America. Yeah, I know, but you also complain about this a lot, right? It's a little bit of both. We are the good ones, for sure.
Prime Minister much longer, probably a matter of days.
Yeah.
And it was
Yours to capture now.
saying that he could speak to the American people themselves in a blunt, forceful way.
Yeah, I wish they would do this all the time. This is one thing that I hope that they bring back is just going and maybe this is me being selfish because it's really good content, but man, is it good content. It is. It's such good. It's so entertaining.
the
It's a
cosmos
bit of
heals
both,
you.
yeah.
But he doesn't have anything to lose now politically. And I do note that he can basically said, Donald was referencing him directly. You are a man, journal. This is a dumb thing to do. He also made it clear, though, to Canadians, Wolf, that look, he's not
All
going to
eyes over
sugarcoat it,
here.
and this will be tough.
I require
What's
some aid.
interesting here is that so many people across Canada are echoing what the Prime Minister has said. We've had leaders of provinces say that they're actually breaking up with America. And make no mistake here, this will hurt Canadians. This will really bite. But it will also hurt many
You captured more than
Americans
half
as
of the
well.
mission area.
In terms
Keep
of what
going.
happens going forward, Wolf, this is escalation. And Justin Trudeau is putting the United States on notice that there will be escalation. Key, though, he did speak to
We
the
are
strategic industries. When we talk
undefeatable!
about critical minerals, we speak so much about how
Supernova!
Canada arguably is
The wind's back with fury!
they were willing to certainly open themselves up to the American try and exploit that and try and clear some of the regulatory.
CNN's propaganda. I mean, every news station I watch,
Fury's almost
if I pull
yours.
up Fox
Control
News, people are like, Fox. If I pull up MSNBC, jeez, it's MSNBC. If I pull up CNN, it's CNN. It doesn't matter, guys. Everything's fake. They're all propaganda. Just read it, listen to it, make a decision for your fucking self, right? That's really what it comes down to. People are about to lose their jobs, watching good content. It's not very respectful for both sides here.
What am I? Invisible?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you were looking for a person who's going to manage their time and not talk about things in a inflammatory manner, you are at the wrong place. Wrong place. This is the place where we talk about things in a way that upsets people.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes.
We bring up, we don't sugarcoat anything either.
There's
we got
so
no
much to
problem
do.
with that. And it's not Reddit. This isn't for pussies.
Their team's capture progress
Now,
is
are
past
you
the
right that I'm
halfway
being an
point.
asshole? Yes, I am being an asshole right now. And I don't want Ava to lose their job. I totally know
Much
that.
better.
If we have to cater the conversation and the content to the lowest common denominator
This time I need you.
pussy's crime, well, we're not going to say anything.
The cosmos
We're just trying to have
heals you.
fun. That's it.
Anyone willing to help?
You're the biggest pussy? I'm the biggest pussy? Okay.
They've
That's
almost
great.
got you.
Feel the wrath!
You can get mad as much as you want, but it's not going to stop.
Born again!
People being quantum match if they're unemployed. Guys, what are your Nakamura.
The Trump administration was not interested. Well, this is a decoupling, not just in Canada, but certainly many, many Western allies. And Europe right now, who've also been put on notice about tariffs in April, are taking note. What happens next? We continue to see the fallout. We do hear that more measures, including what we discussed weeks ago, but things like U.S. alcohol coming right off the shelves in Canada. That's just one example of something that
Has perspective.
Republican state.
It is fair to say that if we don't...
How the fuck did that happen?
In Canada, that's just one example of something that will hit Republican states like Kentucky that will not be able to sell much of their bourbon into Canada at all. But there is so much more here at stake. Key is energy, both oil, but also natural gas and also electricity. And Canada on the table right now has the threat of putting an export tariff on that, which will instantly make
Paula,
energy
hold on for
much
a
more
moment, because the
expensive
Prime
for
Minister
Americans.
has started taking some questions from reporters.
He starts
He's
speaking American again? Holy shit, thank God. All right.
We're speaking about Vice President Pence right now. Excuse me, Vice President Vance right now. I want to listen.
Very clearly
The right heroes
that
can
in
make
terms
all
of
the
taking
difference.
action on fentanyl, we are
I will
doing
bring peace to this
everything
universe, no
that
matter
is
the cost.
necessary. And not just for the United States, for ourselves as well, as Canadians are suffering as well from the scourge that is illegal fentanyl. We have laid out extensive plans, actions, cooperations, including as recently as the past days in Washington, and they have always been very well received. And the numbers bear that out. I think in that
Perfection is unattainable.
President Trump
That
said
should not stop
yesterday
us
that
from
there
trying
is
to
nothing
achieve it.
Canada or Mexico
They'll be
can
coming
do
in
to
30
avoid
seconds.
these
Stay
tariffs
strong.
underlines very clearly what I think a lot of us have suspected for a long time,
burns inside you.
that
That's literally true.
these tariffs are
I
not
just have the
specifically
feeling
about
I could
fentanyl,
sense.
even though that is the legal justification he must use to
Yeah,
act.
I'm trying to think why he'd even do that. That's one thing I'm confused about.
The battle starts in
It's
5.
like, yeah, what is
four,
it? Trump's in
3,
game. Yeah, my guess is
2,
speedrun. Yeah, I
1.
don't even know. It makes no sense.
You have to stop them from securing the mission
Because
area.
you think he's just
But we
you
shall
think he's
restore
just
the
a
light
big
to this
orange
forsaken
fat
world,
dumb retard,
no matter the
and
cost.
he's doing everything wrong because he's stupid.
Right there.
That sucks.
Actually move forward with these tariffs.
The United States is announcing suspending aid.
I require some aid. Ago at Canada and saying that basically this idea that the reason for these tariffs is because of fentanyl is a false pretext. We talked about all the things that Canada has done to crack down, and that less than 1% of fentanyl that was seized at the U.S. border was from Canada. Elena, it struck me, you're at the White House, and I'm wondering, he talked about how he hasn't talked to Trump yet. He called him, kind of killed him directly, saying Donald. And he said, you know, you're a smart man, but this is dumb, saying that he agreed with the Wall Street Journal. Is there any reaction from the White House?
From the moment that we heard him say that, not yet that I've heard Paula, but look, this is something, Pamela, excuse me, this is something that I think is definitely going to see a reaction from the president and the White House. This is
I've
something
got a really good feeling that there's going to be a reaction. I got a really good feeling about that.
strongest language we have heard yet
There's still
from
so much
the
to do.
Prime Minister. A couple of things that really struck out
You
to
need
me.
to stop that vehicle in its
Stuck out to me
tracks.
from what he has said. He said that they have
50%.
stepped up, that they have been engaging repeatedly in conversations as recently in the last couple of days with the Trump administration, that they are doing everything that they can. As you mentioned, I think the point where he was addressing Donald, he was addressing the president directly by name, using that harsh
You were a
language,
beacon of
going on
hope.
to say,
I require some
work
aid.
together. We've had a relationship for several years. We've done big things together. We should be working together now. All things that
Trump just announced retaliation.
I got you!
Oh, jeez.
I have risen.
Yo, fuck that war in Ukraine. We're gonna have a war in fucking Canada.
Who needs
Go fucking take over Canada. Oh my god.
Maybe more nicer or friendlier terms before, but now you're hearing a very direct, harsh language from the Prime Minister. Look, I mean, from what the President said yesterday and what has been kind of said yesterday, that he doesn't believe there's any more room to what Canada and Mexico are doing. He has said very clearly that he believes they aren't doing enough on fentanyl. You heard the Prime Minister argue that he doesn't believe that's actually what these tariffs are about. And then today you've heard a lot of Donald Trump's cabinet members, people like...
Somebody in chat said a second war of northern aggression.
Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, you've heard Peter Navarro, a key trade advisor to the president, argue that if they do want to extending the flow of migrants and fentanyl from coming over the border, that perhaps these tariffs will be called off. But clearly, this is a huge deterioration with allies that we have had. And one thing, of course, I think the real change that we could see is in the reaction that the president and the White House has to how the United States economy is being impacted already over the last couple of days, the last 2 days. We've seen the stock market drop some 1,900 points. We're seeing different companies like Target saying prices are going to increase. That is something as well that will ignite some sort of reaction from the White House.
Here we see the Dow Jones Industrial down now. Just today, 788 points, at least so far now, 790 points. We heard the Prime Minister, Elena, cite the Wall Street Journal editorial, today's Wall Street Journal, usually conservative editorial page. The headline is Trump takes the dumbest tariff plunge. And it read,
So far. Do you really think that he's not like so far? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, y'all got to keep in mind, we have 8 more years.
Friends.
Want to match at least. So y'all trying to act like this is a big deal?
Better stop that vehicle.
Man.
Fix this.
Heals.
We've quoted Mr. Trump's hire by calling the Mexico and Canada levies the dumbest in history, and we may have understated the point. Mr. Trump is whacking friends, not adversaries. And you know, it's interesting because this U.S.-Canada relationship that has always been so strong, so powerful, has now deteriorated to where this is going on.
It's stunning, and he talked about the fact that this is exactly what our adversaries need to see, this deterioration of an alliance that has so much history.
I want to bring in retired U.S. Army General, former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Wesley Clark. He's joining us right now, General Clark. Thanks so much for joining us. Let me first of all get your reaction to Prime Minister Trudeau's condemnation of what the Trump administration is doing.
Plasma?
Inside us all.
Well, I think he's exactly right when he says that it's not about that. What is it about? What is it about when you want to sever the relationship with your closest ally? You know, you're worried about Chinese and Russian ships in the Arctic, and so we're going to have a breach of our work with Canada. Doesn't make sense. And so when you try to understand this, doesn't make economic sense, doesn't make strategic sense.
I think that the way a lot of people see it is they see it that Canada is effectively protected by the United States. And this is the way I think that, like, Trump fans see it, is that Canada, like, enjoys the protection by the United States.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
There is, like, an unfair advantage Canada is getting. Like, they're getting too much out of it, and we're not getting enough out of it. And that's the way that they defend it. Now, I'm not even agreeing with this. I'm just saying, like, if I had to assume what those people think, that's probably what they're thinking. Protected from who? I don't know. Russia?
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter
I'm just saying
the cost.
that's what they think.
Just a break in the way that the U.S. operates. And yes, the market going down because when you look at something like this, it's not about jobs. It's about the credibility of the United States. It's about the trustworthiness of the president. It's about what kind of leadership he brings to the United States. There were issues in the election. People knew this, but people were concerned about the economy.
Even so,
let's look at the economy. But I'm concerned about what's happening in global affairs and U.S. security. And when I see what's being done to Canada...
I think that a lot of people voted for Trump because they just didn't like the direction the country was going in general. Like, with, like, woke stuff, with Volker, with, the way that, illegal immigration was, the economy was, like, everything. It wasn't just because of the economy. I think to say it was because of the economy is very reductive. And again, like, that's really what I think it was. Component, but the fact is that I think that really that wasn't the main reason. I don't think so.
You know, a nation that's always been our ally. I was NATO commander. I couldn't have gotten any stronger
back up all that bravado,
from any nation than I did from Canada. As strong as the support I had from the United States. And yet, here we are isolating Canada and isolating the United States really from our nearest neighbors. It's a real threat to U.S. security. It's not about football. It's how to keep America safe, and this is the way to do it.
It's hard to believe that this is going on. General Clark of the Wall Street Journal, in that editorial today, Trump takes the dumbest tariff plunge. They also wrote this: Mr. Trump is racking friends, not adversaries.
I wonder if he's going to increase it now to 50%. And like, you know, you want to talk about some mafia shit? I wonder if he just can go immediately to 50%.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the
Double down. Yeah, I don't know. He definitely will. I think it's a high probability.
My life was in peril.
Agree with that?
I do. And you know, well, if I was talking to some other analysts this morning, some very smart people on the inside, I think some people working in the administration really understand that President Trump's being played by Mr. Putin. But I don't know if President Trump really understands that. After smashing our relationship,
I think that this narrative isn't going to work, even if it's true anymore, because of how much they overplayed this. Like, you know, for like any average voter, it's like in 2016, it was all about how Trump was like got elected because of Russia and all this bullshit. Like, it's just not going to. Like, this is like totally DR'd. Completely fucking DR'd. It's not going to work. It's over. People not going to buy into this. Can't overplay truth. I'm telling you what it is.
And I'm sure this will make President Putin really happy. I've seen people come to the table.
We are undefeatable!
He's going to ask for more and more and more. What's it really about? And so,
against the world!
Departure from a normal pattern of the United States.
Maximum pulse! Born again!
President Trump will come in here and want to turn the table upside down. He wants to cozy up the security and disregard and insult and separate the United States from our allies. This is not going to be well.
That's a pretty, very, very serious situation unfolding right now. U.S. credibility with allies on the line right now. General Wesley Clark.
Man,
Vehicle reached a
this is, bro, like,
Cosmos heals
it's Donald's wild ride, man. Let me see if I can pull this up. Truth Social. So apparently he already commented on this. If companies move to the United States, there are no tariffs. Please explain to Governor Trudeau of Canada that when he puts retaliatory tariff on the U.S., our tariffs will increase by a like amount.
By the eye of Agamotto!
He going to 50%.
You got them all!
This is seems so entire can't make America great again. By making the world hate us and not buy from us. This is American liquor that's been ordered to be taken off the shelves across Ontario. Damn. The United States launched a trade war against Canada. The closest friend Canadians are usable. But we will not back down, not when our country is at stake.
I am strengthened for battle.
Oh my fucking god.
Beware, behind you.
We are undefeatable!
More than 142 million visitors.
together.
Not much of a boycott in my book. Maybe they wanted to get a glimpse of what a Stanley Cup winning hockey team actually looks like.
Mind the exploding plasma!
The Cosmos heals you.
Talk to our state.
Can you imagine, like, how much of a free farm it is for these media companies right now? Because of all this crazy shit going on? Like, it's all you have to do. Like, it's like a fucking TV show.
Quantum magic.
Behold the god of thunder!
Yes! It's just wild what's going on with this. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's surprising to see how extreme all this is. Like, I don't know, how does he do it, man? Like, I feel like this is kind of what happened in a lot of cases, is that I remember one of the reasons why I think Trump didn't get reelected is because people were just fucking like, they were like, man, this is crazy. Like, we gotta, like, we're tired, man. What is this?
You'll need a
And
top-notch
you
team
locked
to
into
win this
4
one.
more years, maybe 8 more years of this.
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter the
Also,
cost.
starting to is off the shelves. Also, starting today, all U.S.-based companies will be banned from taking part in government procurement. Every year, the province and its agencies spend about $30 billion on procurement, alongside our more than $200 billion planned to build infrastructure. U.S.-based businesses will now lose out on tens of billions of dollars in revenue. They only have President Trump to blame.
Consumed by darkness.
I'm also urging
I
all
will gladly be the light.
30 seconds before you
municipalities
attack.
to
Get
do the
ready.
same. And I'm thrilled to see some are already stepping up. For example, Mayor Patrick Brown in the city of Brampton and many other cities. As part of this government-wide procurement ban, we're going one step further.
Wait, quick
We're
question.
ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink.
Damn.
It's done. It's gone.
The battle
We
starts
won't
in
award
5,
contracts to people
4,
who enable
3,
and encourage economic
2,
attacks
1.
on our province
All you need
and
to
our
do is
country,
capture the mission area. Got
alongside
it?
federal tariffs and the measures my fellow premiers are bringing forward. This Team Canada opening response.
Man, and so, and all Trump said about this is that he just said now the beatings will continue until morale improves. Just straight up. Yeah. It's going to be 100% in 2 weeks.
Thanks so much.
An object
Oh
of
my
great
God.
power.
They're pissed over that hockey game? I don't know. America deserves to get dicked down for real, for real.
Cosmos
I don't know what's going to happen with this. Honestly, I really don't know what's going to happen. This is kind of a shock.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Thanks to all of you. No, we will not be ripping up the speech tonight. I would like to frame it in gilded gold. I'm not sure how to do that from the podium. Welcome you all and party off. But if I had some forethought of what needs to throw at you, whatever whole experience. We had a great meeting. We had a great meeting.
We're going to annex Canada?
House Republicans gathered in.
We are undefeatable! Against the world!
How's Canada going to survive this?
Largest attendance ever, the most members ever participated with families and lots of friends and
They can't, yeah.
neighbors and supporters at the top.
Yeah, that's that, man. It made up, like,
Still so much to do.
I don't know, like, cave to what? Yeah, they don't have the, yeah. He should say they don't have the cards.
We understand everybody really wants to talk about 2020.
Chief, hello!
We are very excited. We're in a very strong position to define what is the norm. It's not traditionally expected for a new president to pick up seats in the first year midterm for his party.
Supernova! This time I think Republicans will keep growing and keep getting more popular because Democrats are born again. Politics still. Maximum pulse. And the fact is also that people like. I think you can harm me. At the end of the day, if this mineral deal from Ukraine, after he basically allows them to heal, they would like. People value strength more than anything. They value winning more than anything. And if you can win, they will like you. And people will vote for you. That's it. More than money.
There's still so much to do.
Yeah. In some cases, yeah. So America's just fascist now? I don't think that really makes it fascist.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
And to do that, we will be riding the wave of the popularity of President Trump's policies, and he is doing some things that everybody in the country is excited about. Once all this is signed into law, the American people are going to begin to feel real relief, calm, and in safety. This set of policies is what the president ran on, and all of us ran on, and we'll be checking the boxes along the way.
We are undefeatable! Us against the world!
This is why too, because like Democrats are focusing on like illegal immigrants, trying to conflate immigrants that come here legally with illegals that came over the border and are committing crime. Right? It's like again like unforced errors. Very, very different. Yeah, people like men and women sports, exactly, right? Like these types of things, like this shit isn't popular. It's not popular with anybody, like except for like a small fringe amount of people. And like you might think that like these issues are like not big issues and like you're right. But like if they don't matter, then why are they pushing them so hard? You see what I'm saying? Like, if it doesn't actually matter, then why do you keep doing it? Why are you holding on to it so hard? Is it bad to make the burning bridges with all allies? Yeah.
Keep going!
I think that he is playing an extremely dangerous game. Like, I think that there's a lot of people that are probably of the mindset, I want off Donald's wild ride.
The cosmos heals you.
Absolutely. Like, how many of you guys, that's exactly how you feel. Yeah, and it's
By the eye of Agamotto!
Supernova! Where he's talking about
Destiny was not kind to you.
Over 20. If you go back to August 2005, you see similar numbers. And I think the reason
Maximum
pulse! That is the theme that the president is reiterating over and over. We're restoring what makes sense to the people. And this contrast between our policies and our ideas and this common sense agenda is very different than our government. They are bending the way to spending right now. They're opposing taxes for working families. They're supporting.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think that they're using the public optics war on is like spending. Like spending a bunch of money on illegals and shit like that, and like random USAID things overseas. Even though it's a fraction of the budget, it's not really a big deal. What really matters is the military. You put that out to the public, and the public's gonna think it's fucking ridiculous. That's it. They think it's gonna be fucking ridiculous. Like average people, okay, what? Yeah, they do.
Orders in sanctuary cities.
Destiny awaits.
And they're doing all that above the well-being of the American people. And the American people are taking note. And while House Democrats struggle to find a message that it hasn't already been rejected by the American people, House Republicans continue to deliver for speaking of delivering to the American people, President Trump makes his triumphant return, of course, tonight, as you mentioned. It's 5 years after his last meeting. This is
like if Trump was a Jew, he would lock the doors at the hearing, at the ceremony, and he would read off the names of all the people that were in the room that were on the Epstein list.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
That would be Spider. Quantum Then arrest him right there.
You think you can harm me?
That would be, you want to talk about cinema, that would be it. Yep, like Saddam did that. Red wedding, yep.
The Cosmos
Definitely not going to happen. But you guys have to agree with me that that would be the most entertaining thing that could possibly happen.
Good to see you back. Want to match?
No, you got wrong.
You are safe now, my friend.
Congress not a State of the Union because the State of the Union is typically delivered on or
That State of the Union, yeah.
sort of the 1 year anniversary, first year in office. But this president is working so quickly. I invite him to come early.
We are
Maximum
pulse!
We're glad he's been here. If he
Supernova!
Speaker's rostrum and read off all his list of accomplishments and we'd be there. I don't expect he's going to give a truncated version.
Us against the world.
Born again. Impressive.
Another epic victory!
We got to get a bingo set up for this whole situation about this event. We do a bingo
Wins
soon.
in so many categories. There's a few. Securing the border so well that
You watching
border
it live?
crossings have hit
This
an
is like 4
historic
hours.
low.
Yeah, sure, I'll probably watch it.
Deporting criminal illegal aliens.
I'll sit around for a bit.
Taking on the cartels directly. Standing up to terrorists, bringing hostages back home.
Yeah.
Working to secure peace around the globe. Ending the weaponization of government, bringing investments and jobs back to the U.S., unleashing American energy, keeping...
Yeah, nothing like destroying Canadian economy. This will destroy the livelihood of Canadians. Very disappointed in Trump's attack on Canada. Yeah. I'm beginning to think that maybe Trump might be an asshole. Maybe he's... We don't care. Yeah, people like... I don't think you understand how fed up and fucking annoyed the American public is with the amount of I think that just money and things that we've done for other countries that we feel like are not reciprocated. I think that this is such a massive sentiment, and it's actually crazy that it hasn't been capitalized on sooner. That, like what?
I will bring
like,
peace
for example,
to this
the way
universe,
that
no
other
matter the
countries
cost.
criticize, like, so this is, you gotta, I don't really agree with a lot of this, but I think this is the way that people see it. A lot of people see America as, like, basically the world police. And they see us effectively providing defense and assistance to all these countries around the world and giving these other countries around the world money, while these other countries criticize and say bad things about us, about our education system, about our healthcare system, about our policing, etc., right? No, we don't. This is what a lot of people think. And I'm gonna tell y'all, now you might not want to hear this. You might not want to hear this. You might not agree with this. You might think it's wrong. But you're gonna see where I'm coming from. And even if you don't, it's still there. So we see all this money going out to these other countries, going out to defense, going out with disproportionate ratios to other countries. And then these other countries are talking about how we have problems. I think that a lot of average Americans are sick of being made to feel ashamed for being American. And so the reason why a lot of the public is behind Donald Trump is because he says, fuck you, I don't care about you. You want to fuck up the Canadian economy and destroy Canada? Fuck them. America first. Fuck them. And that's the same with Europe, except that maybe it's tough. I feel like a lot of Americans were okay with, like, Poland and France. And ironically, I think a lot of Americans, in a weird way, are okay with, like, Saudi Arabia. But a lot of these other Western countries, they're not okay with. Not okay with Britain, not okay with Germany, not okay with Canada, etc. You hate France? I don't think people hate France. But, Japan, yeah, we like Japan. Yeah, Japan, we like Japan. And that's it. And so I think that's really what's going on. That's the, you know, you want to talk about, like, you know, like the Freud, like, ego, superego, id. That's the id of what's going on here.
You stop them in their tracks.
That's what I think is going on here. That is the essence of what this is. Now I could be wrong, but based off of how I'm reading it, that's the way to accomplish things. And I think one is a next level issue that is like there's like 50 facets and 50 things that are attached to it. It clearly shows. It does. It absolutely does.
I feel better
You
already.
like China because they make all my goods for cheap? Yeah.
Cosmos heals you. That's
You guys, I don't know, what do y'all think? You guys agree with this or not? Yes, you were wrong? You sound like a child? Couldn't agree more? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, like, this is where Americans are about to find out. I guess so, right? I guess so. But, like, that's the way Americans feel. Unite. Again! Yeah, do Americans like dictators? Americans don't really, I don't think they really care about that. Born again! You're just not. Like, I mean, you want to talk about a dictator, like, there are dictators in the world. Trump's not one of them. It's like, this is like, again, like, yeah, but he will be, but him what? Okay, well, when that happens, I'll make a video complaining about it, right? People use, like, yeah, this is one of them buzzwords, bro. Like, you gotta stop using the buzzwords. People not listening, it's getting DR'd. Isn't it bad for the U.S. to retreat from everything, from their interests? We had this before World War II, you know? We did, and I think that people view the amount of like international like aid that we give as being asymmetrical. Much better. I think if you told the average American, you would find that the super majority of people would come to the conclusion that we give away too much money overseas.
Bright like a star. We are undefeatable.
Were your neighbors though? Okay. You they don't give a fuck like me. I don't think that people give a fuck about that. So, armed and dangerous! I hate my neighbors. Again! This Christian nation. You're welcome. You remember when Trump was holding the Bible upside down?
Newton's greatest gift.
Like, well, we really talking about that. We really think. Come on.
Someone scratch my back. Out of women. Cutting waste for abuse. I mean, all this has been happening in just 43 days. It's hard to believe he's just been in office 43 days. And that's just one sample. It is, as our whip said, promises made, promises kept. And we're going to keep that going. And he's just getting started. So we look forward to hearing more about his vision for the future tonight, and we will continue to work with him hand in hand to deliver and implement the American First agenda and renew the American dream, which is the subject of this discussion. With that, I'll take the question.
It's all about that. That's the whole point. It's all about the idea of being American and people wanting to understand American nationalism and patriotism. And Trump doing that by shitting on countries like Canada serves a greater goal. And the average population doesn't really give a fuck. I'm gonna be real.
Only 60 seconds
left. Like, it doesn't matter.
I'll patch you
up. They care about what's happening.
I was in trouble.
That's it. We don't care. Yeah,
it's a mutant's greatest gift.
And there are going to be people that don't think this way. There's a lot of people that don't think this way. But I think there's enough people that do think this way in order for it to be the policy.
My God, he's down.
Well, we've been encouraging our members to communicate directly with us. There's lots of different
It's the dumbest question I've ever heard in my whole life.
Watch me disappear!
We find that to be very, very productive, and more productive than if you just go to an open forum right now. Why? Because we've seen this movie before. George Soros I saw my friend Hakeem Jeffries decrying that I said that, but we know that that is a fact. Democrat activists who don't live in the district very often.
I do think that in a lot of cases, a lot of these protests do seem artificial. It's the same as those, like, this is a conspiracy. But you know, like those Patriots front places where everybody says that they're feds, where it's like a bunch of guys all get out and they're marching around and they come out of a U-Haul.
Again! I'll patch you up.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll be curious to see if we have any more of these now that there's somebody new running the FBI.
Better stop that vehicle!
I'll be curious. Seems a little bit interesting.
Much better.
Down to 30 seconds.
Go in and out early, all this stuff. And so the constituents, the people from the community are actually there that don't even get to see. I'm not saying every one of these, all Democrats in these town halls you see on Twitter are not from the area, but look, these are very people who do this as a profession. They're professional protesters.
We
so
are undefeatable!
The best thing
born again!
Frequently, consistently with the constituents and their other avenues
You'll have
to
to
do
keep
it.
fighting
I
until
think
we have a
that
winner.
there has been a lot of, like, very artificial astroturfing that's been going on. I think that Reddit's probably the best example of this happening. And then other social media platforms where, like, you have people that have a vested interest in trying to put forward a narrative or put forward some sort of, like, a viewpoint, and they just do that as hard as they can. What? Twitter's the worst by
The
far?
current score is
I don't think
0,
Twitter is...
2, 3.
Well, it is and it's not, right?
Time to
Twitter
switch
is really
things up,
bad, but Twitter is
including
bad
which
on both
side
sides.
you're on.
Reddit's only bad on one side.
You'll need
Going
a
in to try
top-notch
to give the
team
other
to win
side
this
sound
one.
bites. I mean, they're doing this for the cameras. We all know it.
timeline
And I think it's
exists
wise
where
not to play into
Magneto
it right now.
yields.
So that's my position. Yes.
Would you have preferred, or should Secretary Rubio have gone through the Congress on the $3 billion arms sales announced to Israel over the weekend? And what do you hope to hear from President Trump tonight on what's next for Gaza?
Well, I think we'll have some important information on that tonight. From my perspective, what is happening in the Secretary of State, Department of Defense, and of course all through the White House is well within the President's authority to have discretion on some of these funds and how to use them. There's been consternation about the announcement that they would pause military aid to Ukraine. And I had a few people ask me this morning, well, don't you think that's a violation of separation of powers or something? It's not. The President has authority to do that, to act as the Commander-in-Chief, to use the strategy that he and his team believe is best fit for that. It's not changing or redirecting something that Congress did, unlike the Biden
It's been announced that Ross Ulbricht is one of Trump's personal guests at the speech tonight.
The battle starts in 5,
Oh my God.
4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
He was basically redirecting
The guy's on
some
the road,
put
in jail for a while.
that Congress had duly enacted, had voted to send to Israel. They were trying to redirect and hold it in perpetuity. This is different. A temporary pause, I think, is a strategic move by the Commander-in-Chief, and we support
so
it. So we'll see. I think there'll be more information about it tonight and in the days ahead, and we'll see how it develops.
You are under my protection. You cannot hurt me.
Just embrace the light.
Yeah, so we will not be funding Broadway's debut until we discover. As soon as that is qualified and quantified, okay, it will be cut. And that's it. So what that means is we have deadlines for the team. We don't have time to calculate all the things in the major categories to work in an appropriation process in that amount of time. So what will happen is the DCR, budget that's supported by the President and all of us, we will find a balance
Magneto!
They will not direct fund those categories of things that have been shown to be abusive. What will happen with that, the way the procedure works, is is that we'll be able to later do rescissions and handle it in other ways. The big savings that Doge is finding, and I'm very excited about
I
this.
shall not be removed so
ask about
easily.
it regularly. We talk about it often. That will be a part of FY26. We're going to get that.
They gotta put them on the fucking military. That's the thing. That's where the money is. Stopping some like gay Sesame Street thing, okay, cool, good. But like, who cares? You gotta put them on military. They said they will.
Armed and dangerous!
We are undefeatable!
And then we will begin the appropriation process. I think it's going to be very development. We're going to do it differently in the 2 billion years. We'll have full categories of big savings. I believe it will change the equation. It's going to be a great thing for this. What's
I feel like myself again.
Well, I don't think anybody thinks it's a trade war or looks forward to that, but I do think President Trump makes a great point. I've always thought of myself like Mr. Reagan or Republicans who believe in free market, free trade. And the president was really ahead of his time. Back in 2015, 2016, when he first began to run for president, he would often threaten and say, yes, free trade, but fair trade. And he made a great point. I mean, a lot of people have blind on this. All these countries around the world have taken advantage of America. The American agenda is to reset.
This is the way a lot of people feel right here. Like what he's saying right here, this is the way people feel. And you might not like it, but this is what it is.
Another shield. Thanks.
That those relationships and his idea of reciprocal policies is actually really supports some common sense. I mean, if we have a country that we have a huge trade imbalance with, because we're charging 100% tariff, well, then we need to bring that down. How do we bring it down? By giving them a bill of merit. Now, this is not an adversarial. This is to...
Yeah, absolutely. Something, and I don't think that they have a problem with it being adversarial. That's not well, sometimes it probably is, sometimes it's not. But like, I actually feel who the fuck is reciprocal or not.
Disappear! We are undefeatable!
You will get back to the I think that's good for the American and for our country. And as the president said, it just have a little patience. Let it play out, see how it develops. And I think at the end of the day, America's going to be better off. American consumers, American families, and all of us as a nation and as a people. So we support it. We'll see what happens. And thank you all for being here as well. Thank you.
Man. Do you think America could self-sustain? I don't know. Canada wasn't charging us 100% tariffs, so why is Trump going to go after them? Because he's not charging Canada 100%. He was charging them 25%, right? And so this is really what's going to happen. Republicans are united. They are. And I think that the problem also is that there's no messaging